Hi, I'm Streaky from Streaky.com. Today I'm reviewing the PSI A17-M two-way studio monitor in stunning polar white. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Streaky. I've been a mastering engineer for the past 25 years, mastering all things from ridiculously high-end artists to ridiculously low-end artists and everything in between. I review equipment, hence the speakers. I also talk about mastering tips, tricks, mixing, audio, listening to things, whatever. I'm just madly into sound, so anything to do with that. Now, today I'm talking about the PSI Audio's A17-M. Now, the PSI, if you don't know, they're a Swiss company. They usually have these in, you may have seen them in other studios, they're in a kind of burgundy colour, but this one is in white, luckily enough, to suit my room. Obviously, I'm liking this more. The white, though, it's like a really cool finish. It's super white, so it's not just white, as you can see, it's really standing out, and it's like a matte finish, like polar colour, which is great under the LEDs in here. They do a lower one of this, which I think is the 14, which is smaller, but I had these 17s when I used to be at Metropolis. You might have seen on some older videos where they were in the background, they were in burgundy colour. Personally, these look so much better, but I loved the sound of them when they were at Metropolis. I never got a chance to review them. I wasn't doing as many reviews then. Now I am. I thought I'd try and get some back. And also I wanted to see what they sounded like in my new room, in a different environment, just to see if I still like them in the same way. So basically they are a two-way, as I say. This is a 6-inch cone here. They're front ported. They've got a nice little sort of dome tweeter in there, and an on and off light on the front. Always handy, always a plus. Also, it overloads into red if you start really cranking them, but they do go really loud. Actually, they're as loud as my big vocals, and so you know, you can pump them. So if you do want to get a little bit out of them, they can handle it. They're certainly not quiet speakers. They're active speakers, and so which is the A, maybe, I guess, at the start. So you've just got the input for the XLR, you've got a level tweak and a roll off. There is a little sticker here that says factory calibration, do not remove, and underneath, when I'm rubbing it, it feels like there's loads of little tweak pots you could use, but obviously I'm not going to go anywhere near that because, you know, that's kind of pro stuff, and I'm sure that they've kind of stereo matched them or whatever they need to do with them. So yeah, that's the kind of back end. You can see their size. They're quite a good size. They're quite a little portable speaker, good for having around. Not too heavy, quite heavy. Trying not to drop it. I usually drop speakers when I'm doing these, so hopefully I won't this time. So how do they sound? Now, whew, amazing. Really, to be fair. Usually two-way speakers, I find that if you watch my videos regularly on two-way speakers, I always put a sub with them just to see how they react and see how this mid-range cone reacts to having a sub. You know, a lot of the time, put the sub on, this acts much better. You know, you can hear a lot more clarity in the mids. Now with this speaker, complete opposite. These work how two-way speakers should work, where you put the sub on and these actually just carry on sounding the way they sounded before, but you get that extra sort of big octave, you know, the more subby under 40 hertz stuff that you want from a sub. Now also, what I found when I did that with the sub was by doing a shelf at 80, it actually made these mid-range not work as well. So you actually lost a bit of clarity from the speaker, and that went into the sub. So you'd have to have the sub a lot lower. These go down to about 40 hertz. So you would probably want a sub at like 50 or 40. So these actually just work how they work because they sound so good in the mids. They're really tight, really punchy. The clarity is just really, really good. I mean, I think these are my, you know, by far at the moment from what I've reviewed, these are my favourite two-way speakers. Without a doubt, they're so clear, so accurate. The stereo image is really good when you position them right. They're not too bright, they're not over bright, but they're not dull. So they, you know, you feel comfortable with them and you feel that you're going to get, you know, you're going to get a good translation. There's nothing kind of overhyped with them. They're certainly not, you know, hi-fi in that way. They're very straight. The subs, the low subs, you're not going to get out of a two-way speaker anyway without a sub, but they do go really low. You still get a lot of kick, a lot of stuff that's going on around kind of 60, 80, sort of anything, you know, up from 40. I'm sure it will have rolled off by 40, but to me, when I'm listening to my reference tracks, you know, I'm getting a lot of detail out of those low mids, and that's very hard to do on a two-way speaker. So that's really impressive. I'm a big fan, obviously, as you can tell. I like them a lot. They retail for, I think, 3,300, including VAT. That's pounds. So you'll have to kind of change that to wherever you are in the world. So they're not on the cheap side, but then you are getting an amazing speaker that, if set up correctly in your room, is going to translate perfectly well. This is, you know, a solid, you're not going to need to look for anything else. You know, I really like it. I was right when I was at Metropolis, and I wasn't that happy in the room at Metropolis, but these were just to have a set of Nearfields that was solid, that I knew were going to translate well, which these did every time. Just great for doing loads of like mid work and knowing that it's right. There's nothing too hard. You can hear everything going on. So yeah, that's the PSI A17-M. Till next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.